Speedaddixxgarage. If you're new to the channel, my name is Demetrius. I'm just a car enthusiast that like to fabricate, that like to work on cars, just like probably a lot of the people that are watching this video. Today, we are gonna be working on some drift type stuff. The item that we're gonna be installing is called a steering rack relocation kit. It's meant for an S chassis. And the company that makes this kit is none other than WiseFab. If you're in the drifting community, I'm sure you know all about WiseFab. And guess what? In this episode, we're gonna be installing the WiseFab relocation kit into a 240 steering subframe. So you need two things to get this job completed. You need the relocation kit, and then you also need the subframe. Check out what we got here on the table. On the table is the front subframe steering kit. As you can tell, you got this CNC machined piece that needs to be welded into the subframe. It's got like a cap of some sort that look like it hold the steering rack into place. Of course, WiseFab etched out their logo. Looked like this was like water jet made or whatnot. You got these two plates that's gonna actually hold the steering subframe into place, because we're gonna be removing so much material that it's gonna be flimsy, and this is what's gonna hold it into place. We got a little bit of hardware, okay? Of course, we got a WiseFab instruction manual. You can't go wrong with instructions. And I'm gonna let you know these instructions are nice. It look like it's made out of daggone a material that D-Sport magazine used to make their magazines out of. These jokers bought a nice inkjet printer. And then of course you need to read through all these instructions, and one of the most important pieces are located in the back. These are the templates. You got a couple of pages in the back of the templates that we need to cut out and get the job done. Next up is the 240 front steering rack subframe. Believe it or not, this is going in 89 to 94 240, but this particular subframe came out of an S14 body style, which is like a 95 body style. Per research, they're both the same. If they're not, we're screwed, because I'm going ahead with it. Of course, I got this thing pressure washed. I hit it with degreaser. I pressure washed it. All I gotta do now is hit it with compressed air, and then we can go ahead and start the fabrication. All right, blow that mug off with compressed air so we can get to work. 4.5-inch disc grinder with a flat blade. You want that to make them precision cuts. Okay, next item on the list is I don't know what it is, but it's got like stainless steel brushes. Them jokers will come out, so make sure you got long sleeves. You got a couple of flap discs, like 80 to 60 grit. I got two in just case one of them just malfunctions. You know, you got your paint pens, you got your Sharpies, drop it like whoa. Then, you know, you got zip ties. I don't need them, but it's a drift car, why not? Okay, you need them scissors. I got to get these back to my kids because they got Girl Scouts on Wednesdays. Safety glasses, because when something get in your eye, you're going to be mad. We got this Milwaukee tape. Found out later on in the video, we ain't need it. Then, of course, you got these instructions from WiseFab. They got that nice inkjet printer. And guess what? You're gonna need this throughout the whole process. And hey, you can't do this without a little piece of cheese. That good cheese too. Check out the Eastwood. That's what I'm gonna use to weld with. It's not a 110, it's a 220. I wired the garage up for it. And then to get them good welds, you need that daggone argon carbon dioxide mix. All right, we're cutting out all of the templates from the back of the book. Look at that pan view, boy. Good, girl, you got that junk laid out, looking all nice and sophisticated. That's step number 3. So we need to cut those out. I'm not gonna bore you with this, but basically I cut them out. I try to take my sweet time. I try to daggone make sure I do a good job on cutting this out. But you understand what I'm trying to accomplish. This is like kindergarten activity class right here, 101. I ain't used scissors in a minute. Then of course you're gonna need a blade to cut out the like round looking stuff. This is actually on the subframe where the motor go at. So you need something sharp to cut that out with. Speed that process up, because you don't need to see that. Then, you know, do the same thing for that hole. Tap on the piece of paper and blow, look what we got here. Now I got to cut out the last final bit of templates, and now we are putting the templates onto the subframe. So now we get into tracing. Make sure you got a good paint pen at work. Make sure you got a good Sharpie at work. But we're gonna trace this thing out so we can get it ready to cut. When I first started doing it, I was using some painter tape to hold it into place, but it's really unnecessary. As long as you got a steady hand, you can make it happen. All right, step 7 is what I'm pointing out right there. They call that setting up the bottom plane templates. So as you can tell, I'm just using my yellow Sharpie marker, or excuse me, my yellow paint pen, because the white one was like dry, dull, and ashy, like my kneecaps. Drawing them lines out, making it happen like whoa. And right here, I'm pointing out step number 9, which they're requiring you to drill out the 12mm holes on both sides, front and back, to a 14mm. Slow-mo, cause no reason at all. There's the Milwaukee drill. You can use whatever kind of drill you want. Then I got that spiral drill bit. So we'll go ahead and drill this hole out, showing the spacer that needs to go in between there. And then here's the bolt that needs to go through the hole. As you can tell, I need to drill it out a little bit more. Hit that mud with a couple of blows. Okay, whoops. But hey, played it off because the bolt fit. Now we go ahead and do on the other side. When you get to this part, it's kind of somewhat confusing, especially after drawing all the templates. But this is a good visual of what you're trying to accomplish. As you can tell, all these lines that we got made, all we're doing is cutting this section out. Once we remove this section, we can weld in this section, which actually is supposed to be a little bit closer towards the front of the subframe. So that's what we're trying to achieve. Before I go any further, all these little shards right here, I'm gonna use this little deal to clean it all up. I done had to get stitches before right there in my daggone finger messing with that junk. So we're gonna clean that up. So before I go any further, of course, I want to make sure everything fit up somewhat nice. I got a couple of gaps that I'm not okay with, that I need to trim. I got this lip on the bottom side I need to cut down a little more. Same thing here. But for the most part, everything looks great. I may or may not pressure wash it again, just because the inside of here is super nasty. Actually, I think I am gonna pressure wash it because I like my stuff to be clean, even though it's not my stuff. Let's get that done. We'll do a little bit more trimming, and then we can go ahead and start tacking this into place after installing the stuff that's required on step number 11. This may benefit somebody, but like on the inside section of this deal where they got it welded right there and right there, I'm gonna go ahead and grind that down so that this thing sits in there a little bit flusher. Yeah, sits up there a little better. So I got one bolt threaded into this fixture, and then the other side just ain't lining up. So probably drill this hole out a little bigger, and yeah, we're gonna figure something out. There's the finished product. All we gotta do is add a little bit of flat black or semi-black paint to it so it don't rust. Put it on the car and go ahead and start drifting. If you want to see this steering rack relocation kit in action, check out my boy Justin Hart, aka Scenic Drift. I'll put his Instagram here. You can check him out. And if you want something like this done, just let me know. Comment below whether you like the content, whether it was tasteful, whether it was tremendous amount of information, and whether or not it was funny. And in the meantime, check out the rest of my videos where I work on Toyota Supras and my V8 turbocharged 240. See you on the next episode.